There is something you have been doing your whole life. Every time someone doubted you, you explained yourself. Every time someone questioned your choice, you justified it. Every time you felt judged, you defended yourself. And you thought that was the right thing to do. You thought if you just explained enough, they would understand. They would accept you. They would stop judging you. But here is the truth nobody told you. Today, I want to tell you a story about a man who lost everything, not because the world was cruel, but because he never stopped justifying himself to it. And the moment he went silent, everything changed. His name was Arjun. He was 27 years old, smart, hardworking, decent. He had a job, he had dreams, he had people around him. But Arjun had one problem that followed him everywhere. He could not stand being misunderstood, not even for a single day. If his boss gave him a look, Arjun would spend the rest of the afternoon writing a mental explanation in his head, rehearsing what he would say, what he should have said. If a friend didn't reply quickly, Arjun assumed he had done something wrong, and he would send another message and another, trying to fix something that wasn't even broken. If someone at work questioned his idea, Arjun would talk for 20 minutes defending it, even if the idea was good, even if no one was actually attacking him. He thought people were always watching him, always waiting for him to make a mistake, so he kept talking, kept explaining, kept proving. And slowly, without even realizing it, Arjun had built a life where his peace depended entirely on what other people thought of him. One evening, Arjun's older brother said something simple at the dinner table. He said, "Arjun, you work hard, but somehow you always look exhausted. Why?" Arjun opened his mouth to explain, but his brother stopped him. No, I'm not asking you to justify it. I'm just asking you to think about it." Arjun didn't sleep that night. He lay in bed and stared at the ceiling, and for the first time in a long time, he actually looked at his own life. He had spent years explaining his career choice to his parents. He had spent months explaining his relationship to his friends. He had spent hours in meetings defending his ideas before anyone even challenged them. He was always preparing for a fight that most of the time never even came. He realized something dark that night. Every single day, Arjun was performing, playing a version of himself that was acceptable, digestible, safe. He was not living. He was managing other people's opinions, managing other people's perceptions, managing the image they had of him. And that job, the invisible job of trying to control what others think, that job has no end, no break, no salary, no reward. It only has one outcome: collapse. The next weekend, Arjun visited his grandfather in the village. His grandfather was 78 years old. He lived a quiet, simple life. He wasn't famous, he wasn't powerful, but everyone who knew him respected him deeply. Arjun sat with him on the porch as the sun went down. He told his grandfather everything: the exhaustion, the constant explaining, the feeling that no matter what he did, someone was always disappointed. His grandfather listened. He said nothing for a long time. Then, slowly, he stood up and walked inside. He came back holding 2 cups. One was full of water, right to the very brim. The other was empty. He placed both cups on the small wooden table between them. Then, he poured a little tea into the full cup. The water spilled immediately. It ran down the side, over the table, and onto the floor. Then he poured the same tea into the empty cup. It settled perfectly. Still, quiet, full. Arjun stared at both cups. His grandfather finally spoke. He said, "A cup that is already full cannot receive anything new. A man who is always talking, always explaining, always defending, he is like this full cup. Nothing can enter him. No wisdom, no growth, no peace." He tapped the empty cup gently. But a man who learns to be empty, to be still, he receives everything. Arjun felt something shift inside him. Not all at once, not dramatically, just quietly, like a door in a dark room had been opened a tiny crack, and light, just a little bit of light, was coming through. Arjun drove back to the city the next day, but something was different. When his colleague questioned his report in front of the team, Arjun nodded. He said, "I'll look at it again." Nothing more. No 20-minute explanation, no defensive speech, just, "I'll look at it again." When a friend made a sarcastic comment about his life choices, Arjun simply smiled and looked away. No justification, no argument, just silence. And that silence felt strange at first, almost wrong, like he was supposed to fill it, like something was missing. But then something remarkable happened. People stopped pushing. Because here's something most people don't realize. When you constantly explain yourself to people, what you are really saying underneath all those words is this: I need you to approve of me. Your opinion is more powerful than my own. And people feel that. They may not say it, but they feel it. And they respond to it, sometimes with more doubt, sometimes with more pressure, sometimes by using your need for approval to control you. But when you stop explaining, something fundamental changes. You are no longer asking for permission to exist. You are not auditioning for a role in your own life. You are simply living it. Now, this does not mean become a closed wall. It does not mean stop listening to feedback. It does not mean never communicate. There's a difference between explaining yourself because you want to connect and explaining yourself because you are afraid of what they will think if you don't. The first is communication. The second is fear wearing the mask of communication. The people who are truly meant for you, your real family, your real friends, your real opportunities, they will not need 100 explanations. They will see your actions. They will witness your consistency. They will feel your character. And they will understand. But the people who only stay when you are constantly justifying yourself, those people were never truly with you. They were with the version of you that made them comfortable. And that is not love. That is not friendship. That is control. 6 months after that evening on his grandfather's porch, Arjun sat at his desk at work. Same office, same people, but a very different man. His manager called him in and said, "Arjun, I've noticed something about you lately. You seem more settled, more sure of yourself. What changed?" Arjun thought for a moment. Then he smiled and said, "I stopped talking so much." His manager laughed, but Arjun wasn't joking. He had discovered something that cannot be bought or taught in a classroom. He had discovered that the version of you that needs no validation, that version is not built through praise. It is built through the quiet daily act of trusting yourself when no one else does. That is the moment your power returns. Not when the world finally approves of you, but when you stop needing it to. So let me ask you something before you go. Who are you explaining yourself to right now? Whose opinion are you carrying like a weight on your chest? Whose voice is living in your head rent-free, making you doubt every choice you make? Today, just for today, try something different. Stop explaining, stop justifying, stop defending. Just be, quietly, firmly, without apology, and see what happens. Because the world does not respect the man who begs to be understood. It respects the man who no longer needs to be. If this story touched something inside you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories. A new story is waiting for you.